Alright, hey guys, we're back. Episode 4. This one's pure chartreuse. I've already got everything mixed together and heating up. I kind of messed up the video, so I had to restart it. But while that's heating up, I go through MF Manufacturing for grubs. I use a floating plastic. Just because you guys got the jig head on there, and it kind of keeps the tail in the air, so it can do its thing in the current. My Sinkos that I'm going to be showing you guys, I use a sinking plastic, and that's from MF Manufacturing as well. Go to pouryourownworms.com. And what it does is it helps reduce the salt, or if you want to be like the big guys and use mica powder, it helps get away from using so much more of that, so your baits and stuff, they get more of a clearer effect. It doesn't, the weight's not the same as a Senko. Of course, it's not going to friggin' sink just the same way as a Senko. Gary did his own recipe, and I don't think anybody's ever going to match it, nor is he going to release it, and that's fine. That just keeps everybody out there looking for something different. But the store that I stock Senkos with, we call them a replica. I use a sinking plastic. I use a lot less salt. I don't use mica powder, and it has that lifelike effect to it that a Senko does, except mine don't break as easy, nor do they melt in the sun. So that's what I'm happy about them. I don't know if you guys have ever left a Senko in the sun, but they turn to pretty much just a flat blob, and that'll be a whole bag of them. $8, waste of money. But this is what I've got going. This is what I call pure chartreuse. I'll show you guys real quick. It's pretty cool. Like I said, I messed up on the other video, so I threw everything back in here. I'm going to reheat it real quick. And another thing about the real Senko, you can't reheat them. So, even if you were to save your odds and ends like a lot of people do, and they take them home and they do something else with themselves, you can't reheat them. They're not very good at reheating. At least I've never had any luck. So if there's somebody out there that does, feel free to let me know. We're gonna stick this in for another 30 seconds. It's just not everything's liquefied yet. When it's ready to go, I'll put you guys back on. Alright, you guys, it's all heated up, ready to go now. So now we're going to start injecting. Make sure your clamp's tight. Injector's clear, free of debris. I'm going to start going. And I use my knife to scrape that off, just so when I go to my next one, I don't have a big blob sticking over the side. It doesn't get in the way. And less mess. Better presentation, I guess. I'm going to suck up a little bit more just to make sure I got enough for that third one. And I do. And that's hot, and that's why I have a glove on. Even through the glove, it gets hot really quick. So make sure you guys got a good pair that you can maneuver around with. I'm just going to stir that up a little bit. Just to keep everything mixed in and warmer, because everything on the sides is going to cool faster. So if we do this fast enough, we should be able to suck this out of the middle and have everything, left on the sides. And that's if you're going good and your plastic's not too hot. If your molds are hot, if your molds are hot, then they don't cool as fast and you're not able to go as fast. So another reason why more molds is better. Get a bunch done at once. That's if you're serious. If you're just doing this for yourself, 1 or 2 of each maybe. Most of them do 4 cavities. A lot of the bigger creature baits or flipping baits and things like that are longer worms. They only do 1 or 2 cavities. So, more cavities you want, more expensive it gets though. Alright, let's pop these open. Scissors, we'll cut these out. And here's what you guys got. shoots off, put them off to the side. For your baits and your water, I got a tub of water back there. There's my little helper. It's my cat. Don't mind her face is all messed up. Some animal grabbed a hold of her and did a number on her. Pretty sure it was a bird. Big bird, like hawk trying to eat a cat or an owl trying to eat a cat. You can see those ones didn't come out. This one's got a big flat spot on it where it's sunk in. Thought I felt the pressure in the tube. And then that one just didn't even form. So somewhere I got plugged. So I'm just going to set that off to the side. Throw those in the water, cat. I wouldn't eat those. I don't have a disclaimer. And it's funny, my wife was at the flea market one time, and we have this little flea market in town. It's not like a crappy one or anything, but people have like DIY or home good stuff, or they sell their crops down there. Some lady thought these were gummy candies. So, kind of interesting. There's a lot of weirdos out there. I mean, I understand how it can be mistaken, but I wouldn't have thought they were gummy candies at seeing them. Knock all those out of our tube, keep the O-ring clear so it slides. We're going to stir this up real quick, get everything back to suspension, kind of even. Push everything off the sides of my nozzle so I can lift it off with nothing being attached. Bam. That one. Go to the next one. And there was enough plastic. Alright. Squirt that little bit left back in. Now, with the chutes and all those extra parts that we just did from earlier, I'm going to dump those right back in. I don't think I've showed you guys how I reheat at all in one of the videos, so I'm going to do that real quick while I have the time. Got a couple minutes on here before I can't record no more. So I'm just going to scrape everything down, knock everything down. And you just kind of get everything in there. And do this in 20-minute increments if you got a high-powered microwave, just because you will burn the plastic. And these lighter colors, they change color. They change to a darker, or they look discolored, I should say, when you burn them. And and the plastic stinks. So when you guys are first starting out, don't get discouraged. My first batch, I think I burnt a quart. Trying to make a bunch of stuff and it didn't work out. Sorry, I'm just trying to clean up my area as I'm going. We're going to stir this up a little bit. Get it mixed around and get some of those solid pieces into the hotter spots and everything mixed around it. And we're going to do that again, another 20 seconds. Scrape everything down. Now this stuff isn't necessarily cheap. You can spend $500 up front for a hobby and not have everything you need. It's just like any other hobby. So if you guys start getting into it, save up a little money, write yourself a list on the things you want, do your research, and choose wisely and stay within a budget. Like I said, if you're doing it for yourself and not for stores, like I do it for a store here in town, don't get more than one mold a piece. I mean, you're going to make enough plastic, even 4 ounces of plastic on grubs, I'll get you 20 grubs. It's a bag, for the most part. But the plastic is cheaper to buy 5 gallons at a time. It's just $70 or $140. So I would always choose the 5 gallons on that. That's my only recommendation. 2 ounces of color is enough to color at least a gallon of plastic. So unless you're doing, you know, 4,000 pieces of 5-inch Cincos, there's no need to use a whole bottle per gallon. Oh, that's reheated. Sorry, we gotta crack these molds. Yeah, guys, that's my reheating process. I just stick everything back in there in 20-second increments, depending on your microwave. Some of you guys might be 30 to 40. Just get it back to the consistency and try to keep it low heat. Like, I just know my times. I would get a thermometer. They're cheap. It'll come in handy. Yeah. Let's show you what these look like over here in the water. That's the effect we get. Pure chartreuse. Subscribe, guys. Cut them, bag them, do whatever you're going to want to do with them, you know. Use them. They work great. See you next time.